When I first heard of Antigua Guatemala, I thought, why were so many people coming here, and why was the digital nomad community growing so fast here, and everybody was wanting to come here, work and travel, and just live and be here for long periods of time? Well, I've been in Guatemala now for an entire month, and I spent 3 weeks here in Antigua Guatemala, and I can definitely see why Antigua Guatemala is the next up-and-coming hot digital nomad spot. It's one of the world's most well-preserved colonial and architectural towns. So for those of you guys that don't know, the word Antigua in Espanol means old. As soon as you step into the town, you see that everything is very old. It's like taking a step back into time nearly 300 years ago. You'll walk around Antigua and it's cool because you can't see anything from the outside, but when you get inside, things look completely different. And I think that's what's so special about this town, is that they really wanted to preserve it and make it feel like the old colonial town back 300 years ago. So in this video, we'll take a look at why Antigua Guatemala has become so popular for digital nomads, people with online businesses who want to work and travel. So we'll go over food, we'll go over things to do, we'll go over how much it costs to really live here, and information, of course, you'll need to know when you come to Antigua. So go ahead and stay tuned for the rest of this video. All right, so let's get right into it, and we'll start talking about the food category, because in my last digital nomad video, I forgot to talk about food. So I know food is very important for people while traveling. And like other popular digital nomad spots, Antigua is no different with regards to price and affordability. You can really eat very affordably here in the city, and that is a really awesome thing. So I'll start with going from like the cheapest to the most expensive. I liked eating at this one taco chain place. It was really good. They made the tacos and the tortas and the gringas right in front of you. The price of those range from 28 quetzales to 35 quetzales. $1 is about 7.6 quetzales. So just to give you an idea of the conversion rate from US dollars to quetzales. Awesome thing about Antigua is there is no shortage of places to eat. It's pretty overwhelming. When you're trying to decide where to eat, you could just probably have a new place to eat every day for 3 months in a row. There's so many options. One place that we went to that was kind of like an average to medium price range was Antigua Brewing Company. You can expect to eat there maybe a burger and a beer for about 65 quetzales. So it's still very affordable eating at those types of places. The next place I would actually recommend as a thing to do and a place to eat is Casa Santo Domingo. It's really cool. There's a bunch of stuff in there to do. There's museums, there's different ruins you can see, you can eat. They have a restaurant, it's a hotel, they have a pool, all kinds of good stuff. And that buffet we had on a Sunday, they had a really cool array of Guatemalan food, and that cost 92 quetzales per person. That included drinks and all you can eat buffet. It was really delicious. I do recommend that place to eat and explore one of the days you're in Antigua. The next place I recommend is Casa Escobar. Now this is fine dining. This is like top of the line food. It is delicious. I actually had tenderloin steak there, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese. I can't remember what else, but it was so good. And this was actually pretty pricey for Guatemalan standards. It was about 200 quetzales per person, so it was a fine dining like steakhouse. I do highly recommend it, even though it is a little pricey, if you could fit that into your budget. And also, let me go back down to the cheap scale and end with street food. Now street food is excellent. It did remind me of eating street food in Mexico, for example, and that will cost you anywhere from 15 to 20 quetzales if you're eating on the street, or if you find a mercado to eat at. Those places are very affordable, of course. So next up on the category, I wanted to say that this video was sponsored by the Airbnb that we stayed at. It was located actually in the mountains right above Antigua. It's about a 12 to 15 minute drive to Antigua itself. If you want to get away and have peace and quiet and have the most outstanding mountain views that you've seen in your life, including volcanoes, I highly recommend to stay here. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom villa. It has the master bedroom has a king-size bed, guest bedroom one has a queen-size bed, and one has two twin-size beds. It's very excellent if you're really looking to escape the rush of the city and really wanting to relax and enjoy your vacation. And I did want to give a shout out to Danny, our host. He was an excellent host. He helped me with so much stuff around Antigua and around the Airbnb. And he was also nice enough to help upgrade with the Wi-Fi, because as you guys know, Wi-Fi is super important wherever I travel. I will leave more information about this property in the links in the description, so you guys can check that out after this video. And before we get into the things to do in Antigua, Antigua and around the Antigua area, I did want to mention something about the pricing of the cost of living. It's not the cheapest that I've seen in comparison to Southeast Asia, Medellin, Playa del Carmen, and other places I've been to. It's kind of in the middle. It's not too expensive. My cousin, for example, stayed in an awesome 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. It was super cute in the middle of Antigua, and it cost him $40 a night for a 5-night stay. But I think for a month for a place like that, it would have been easily $700, $800 per month. All right, so now we've made it to the things to do category of this video in Antigua. This is always one of my favorite parts because I love sharing the travel experiences with you guys and things you guys can do when you visit Antigua. Antigua, it's difficult because there's so many cultural experiences and tours and, you know, beauty, nature things to do. It's really hard to choose what you want to do once you get there, but these things that I'm about to talk about, I highly recommend. So the first thing that really is a must-do is to go to Lake Atitlán. This is not in Antigua. It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive from Antigua, but people rave about it, and I understand why. It is one of the most gorgeous lake views in the world. You can see volcanoes, the mountains that surround the lake. There's a lot of pueblos around the lake, and we particularly stayed in a pueblo called San Marcos. If you're into spirituality stuff and yoga, this is the place that you'll want to stay. It's very, very peaceful, and the property that we stayed at in San Marcos was absolutely phenomenal. It was one of the most impressive properties that I've stayed at in my life when you consider the beauty, the nature, and everything surrounding the property. Let's go and see actual footage of the property in Lake Atitlán.
We arrived at the Airbnb. It's phenomenal. Andrew, what do you think?
I like it. It's very Instagrammable, as you said.
I think it's by far the most serene, most beautiful, like nature-wise, that I've ever seen. I mean, look at this roof. It has a bed and a hammock. There it is. And check out this view behind me. Private view of the lake. It's insane. Love this Airbnb. Come stay here.
So I did want to say thank you to Jean, our host. She was absolutely lovely, super helpful during our stay, our weekend stay at Lake Atitlán in San Marcos. I mean, she literally had everything you could need at this property. She thought it all through. There was kayaks, paddle boards. We had our own private beach by the lake, our own private dock. The pool was absolutely outstanding. It was a heated solar pool. It was a property where you literally did not have to leave, and that was pretty awesome. You could stay and relax on the mattress, the bed above on the roof that overlooks the lake. And to get around the island, I will mention that you will probably use a tuk-tuk, which is about 10 quetzales per person per ride, wherever you want to get around on the lake. And also, you can cross the lake for pretty cheap with the boat shuttle. I think it's 15 quetzales per person, but to go from town to town and go exploring, you can use that shuttle. It goes and stops at the different ports throughout the day at the lake. So the next place I wanted to mention and thing to do on the list is to go to Earth Lodge. Earth Lodge is located really close to Antigua, maybe a 20-25 minute Uber ride at most. What it is are little huts and little tree houses like located in the mountains, so it's a really interesting experience. If you want to go and like camp or stay in a real tree house, this is the property and place to do it. So let's go ahead and switch to the footage of the Earth Lodge.
So we made it to Earth Lodge. Super awesome decision. Look at this beautiful little casita. This place is awesome. It costs maybe like $17, $18 a person to get one of the little spaces here. And this is the biggest house, so it's probably cheaper if you get like a smaller size. But yeah, they have like yoga, hiking, places to eat, a bar. They have a movie theater, a place to read books. It's awesome.
Honestly, I don't know what to say. The views are espectacular. Fresh air, the atmosphere is so calm. We absolutely love it.
So again, they have so many activities that you can do while you're there. We only stayed for 1 night, but it was definitely worth it whether you're staying for 1 night or 4 nights. There's definitely something for everybody to do at the Earth Lodge. So next, I wanted to talk about a coffee tour that we did with a company called Chicopee. Now they are a really, really lovely company and stand for something super beautiful, and that is empowering Guatemalan women and women in general as coffee producers, and historically haven't been given the same rights as men, and they haven't been paid and treated fairly. But this company is definitely ensuring that these women are producing the coffee, they're getting paid fairly, and their message is so beautiful. Now on the tour, they'll show you the roastery and the roasting process of the coffee, and then you get to taste the coffee right after that. I highly recommend doing this while you're there to understand the message they're trying to get across to the world and the impact they're trying to have. Josue, one of the owners of the company, him and his wife Aileen operate the company, but he took us through the whole tour and told us about the whole process. It was really, really lovely. Their roastery was actually located really close to our Airbnb, maybe like a 5-minute drive away. And at the time, they were just getting ready to open tours. So I know now at the production of this video, tours will be available, and I'll leave their website link in the description so you can book a tour whenever you're in the Antigua area. So the last thing I'll mention on the things to do category is to go check out a volcano. I didn't want to do this at first because I'm like, oh, I gotta get up early, I gotta go hike. You know, there's a lot of active volcanoes and that kind of freaked me out. I'm like, oh, I don't know how close I want to get to the lava. But anyways, we did do it. We went to Volcan Pacaya. We're here hiking up Volcan Pacaya. No sé el nombre. We've been hiking for about 45 minutes now.
I'm fine.
We got up at 5 in the morning. If you're not a big hiker, it's perfect because it's like medium level for hiking. It's not that hard at all. It costs 60 quetzales to get here, 50 quetzales to enter into the park. The round trip hike is maximum 3 hours and it's located only like an hour away from Antigua, so it's really, it won't take up your entire day, and it's a great option if you want to go see an active volcano. Hi, Maggie! Oh my god, look at this!
Aquí y pueden ver la lava.
So yeah, once I was up there and I was experiencing and feeling the lava and the heat of the lava, the lava rocks that were already dried, it was such an incredible experience. It was exciting and it freaked me out all at the same time, but I do totally recommend it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience and something to definitely check off your bucket list. So after you get done doing all these activities during the day, I will say that I was pretty impressed with Antigua nightlife. There are quite a bit of options for bars and clubs and, you know, a place to go dance. One that I do recommend is El Barrio. That's a cool place that has like 5 different bars, music. It's a really fun atmosphere. We actually went to a club called Las Vibras twice. That was really fun if you're into top 40s, reggaeton, if you really want to dance and have that like nightlife disco vibe. I'd recommend Las Vibras. They do close earlier than you're used to. They close before 1, which kind of sucked because it was really fun. But make sure you get there early to enjoy the night so you're not like at boom 12:45 and they shut down and you're like, oh wait, what happened? All right, so one of the last things I wanted to talk about was of course co-workings and where you can work. Antigua does not have a lack of coffee shops. There's always a coffee shop where you can go and take your laptop and just chill and work for the day. Also, if you're looking for faster internet, I recommend Selena Hostel. Selena pops up just about in every place in Latin America, South America, Central America. I know that their co-working has high-speed internet, and on Fridays it is free to go check out their co-working, so you know, take advantage of that free Friday. Also, Impact Hub is probably the most popular co-working, and I've heard from other nomads and entrepreneurs that it is a really, really good co-working. Again, I didn't need to use the co-workings because the internet at the house was really fast, but I do recommend those 2 places if you need fast internet. And one of the last things I'll mention is of course transportation. There is Uber, there are tuk-tuks within Antigua that are pretty cheap, and if you need to get from place to place in Antigua, you could use a tuk-tuk. For any one of the other locations I mentioned, there's shuttles that are readily available, and one thing I did do a lot was just make friends with an Uber, and outside of Uber, they'll usually give you a lower rate in cash if you pay them because, you know, Uber, they won't have to pay the Uber fee that they usually have to if you pay them with Uber, so they'll be happy to take you, for example, to the lake or to the volcano, but usually there's shuttles available for every activity outside of the city. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed this digital nomad version of Antigua, Guatemala. I highly enjoyed my stay. I do recommend staying there. I do understand why now that it is a very popular place for digital nomads. I would at least stay there a month so that you can enjoy all the great food and activities and things to do. Again, I invite you to go check out all the resources and the links in the descriptions of everything I did. You can find out all the information there. And of course, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, join the family if you haven't already. I'm Marissa Romero. I will see you guys on the next video. Take care, everyone.